Hello everyone, welcome to BLT's Bible and Life Talks with Brian Coy. I'm so glad that you're with me on today. Listen, I just want to talk about the book of Philemon. Now, when I say the book of Philemon, you probably think I'm about to go into this long narrative, but the truth is, the book of Philemon is a very short book in the Bible, but from that, we can gain a principle. And so, the book of Philemon is written by Paul. It's a letter that he actually writes to Philemon concerning Philemon's slave, whose name was Onesimus. Now, before we start talking a little bit about it, I want you to understand that with slavery in those days, really the majority of slavery during that time was a result of a debt that actually was owed. So a person had a debt, they couldn't pay it, and so therefore they were enslaved. It wasn't slavery that was done based on the forcefully taking of someone against their will and forcing them into labor. And so Philemon has this slave called Onesimus, and this slave runs away from Philemon and gets to Paul. And while he's with Paul, his life turns totally around. And so Paul gets word that Onesimus actually belongs to Philemon. And Paul writes a letter to Philemon and he says, I want you to receive our brother Onesimus, not as a slave, but as a brother. Paul says that he was once useless to you, but now he is useful. So what is my point? My point is this: people can change. People can change. Paul writes in this letter that because salvation has entered the life of Onesimus, that he is no longer the same person that he once was when he left Philemon. The Bible even lets us know that Onesimus ran away and that he actually was a thief. And Paul, in his letter, writes to Philemon and he says, look, Philemon, anything that Onesimus has taken unlawfully, anything that Onesimus has actually owed you, I want you to charge it to my account. But Paul actually reminds Philemon in the letter, he's like, yeah, you can charge me those things, but I want you to remember something. Philemon, you owe me too. This small book of the Bible is a great illustration that people can change. And I know sometimes we look at people and we see patterns and we see habits and we see things that just seem to happen over and over and over and over and over again. But I'm here to encourage us on today that through the power of Jesus Christ, people's lives can really be changed. People's lives can really be transformed. After all, it did happen to you and I. Thank you so much for joining me on BLTs on Today Bible Life Talks with Brian Coy. I'm so glad that you're with me, but guess what? I look forward to talking to you soon. You take care. Peace.